0702. Welcome to another episode of Stand Tall. We are in Dragon Secret Teaching out of Taigong's Six Secret Teachings, one of the ancient military texts. The selection of generals. King Wu asked Taigong, when a ruler plans to raise an army, how should he select a wise and brave general with virtues? Taigong said, there are 15 cases when a general's actions do not match his outward appearances. He appears to be wise but is unworthy. He appears to be kind but is a thief. He appears to be respectful but is arrogant. He appears to be polite and cautious but is insincere. He appears to be competent but is ignorant. He appears to be reliable but is dishonest. He appears to be resourceful but is indecisive. He appears to be decisive but is incompetent. He appears to be trustworthy but is faithless. He appears to be wavering but is loyal. He appears to be unfocused but is efficient. He appears to be brave but is cowardly. He appears to be serious and distant but is friendly. He appears to be harsh but is warm. He appears to be weak and vacuous but is capable of all tasks. Those who are looked down on are valued by the sage. Ordinary people do not have insightful understanding of human nature and cannot clarify the mystery. These are the cases when a man's appearances and actions do not match. I am 5 and this is deep. So the 15 cases when a general's actions do not match his outward appearances. So of those, how often are we either guilty of these very things, or those who got close to us we thought were respectful but turned out to be arrogant, but were, kind but thieves, reliable but dishonest, competent but ignorant, right? Polite and cautious but is actually insincere, right? That's a big thing. And so King Wu asked, how can we truly understand this? Taigong says, there are 8 ways to understand this. First ask the general questions and see if he can explain them clearly. Second, interrogate him to test his adaptability. Third, spy on him to make sure of his loyalty. Fourth, ask him questions you already know the answer to see if he is hiding something. And fifth, appoint him to manage your possessions to test his honesty. Sixth, test him with beautiful women to observe his integrity. Seventh, confront him with urgent and difficult situations to test his bravery. Eighth, get him drunk to see how he carries himself. After these 8 tests, you can tell if he is worthy or not. So, maybe you should put yourself through these 8 tests, or think about times when you've been through these tests, like times maybe that you've been drunk, or you've been tempted with a beautiful person of the opposite sex, or you have to answer questions that maybe you yourself realize that you've been hiding something. Or have you ever been put in a position to manage someone else's possessions? And what do? Right? Like, I manage people's assets. And so what do? Right? Do I put their interest ahead of my own as dictated by the laws of the land? Do all asset managers do such a thing? Right? We are held to a fiduciary duty. And so that's what we do. That's what we should be doing. But again, until you're drunk, until you're asking him questions to see if he can explain clearly. So and test his adaptability through interrogation, spying on him. So spy on yourself, right? View yourself from the outside in, and what do you observe? Next, we'll be doing the appointment of generals.